Happy 4th of July to you all. And today we're going to talk about harmonics. Someone asked me, I think it was yesterday, on the comments if I would touch on this subject. Certainly, I have not mastered it like I could if I spent more time with it. But I do know how to do harmonics. I do know there's different types. So I'm going to show them to you, and then you can take that information and add it to your practice period. Because it really sounds awesome. You can add those little notes when you're playing. And it just adds a texture that only a harmonic can give. So there's different types of harmonics. The first one I'm going to show you is a natural one. It's just a place on a string that you're not fretting, you're not making a note, you're just playing the string, that when you play it, it'll give you that overtone. And that can be found on the 5th, the 7th, and the 12th. Now, I've got to tell you, you can also get harmonics in other places on the strings. Difficult, they're harder to get, but if you work at it, you'll hear them, they're there. But the places that it's the easiest is this fifth fret, the 7th fret, and then the best one is the 12th fret. Okay? So, and those are called natural harmonics. I'm not fretting the string. I'm just plucking the string in such a way that it's giving me an overtone or a harmonic. And it's a natural one because, like as I said, I'm not fretting the fingerboard. Now, let me show you what happens when I fret the fingerboard. Okay, so if I, say for instance, make a G chord, in this case it's G sus. If I went down here to the 12th fret and I try to make a harmonic, I can't, because I've now disrupted this string by pressing down on these frets. So I have to, it's displaced. And so I've got to take whatever frets that I've taken up here, I've got to add them on this end, and so that it comes up to 12 frets between the fretted finger and the place I play the harmonic, okay? So in this case here, let me explain a little more. The pinky finger is on the 3rd fret. I come down here to the 12th fret and I have to add 3 frets because it's on the 3rd fret. It's displaced that much. And we want 12 frets between us. So I've got to come down here to play it. I can't play the 12th fret. I've got to add those 3 frets that I took up. And so if I was to play all the way across, it's actually just playing the shape of this chord. There it is, that's better. Okay, so if I was playing the D chord, okay, so again, I made the shape of the D chord, or whatever this is displaced, I brought it up here. And I added it to the 12th fret, and then I was able to get the harmonics. Okay, so those aren't the natural harmonics. They're more of an imitation one, or artificial. I don't know, there's a term for it. But they're not the natural harmonics because you're fretting the fingerboard, okay? So those are 2 different types. Now, there's different ways to play harmonics, okay? There's more than one way. And so the first way I'm going to show you is I'm going to just take my pointer finger and I'm going to come over here to the 12th fret because that's a real clean place to practice these. I'm going to go to the 12th fret. I'm going to hover right over the fret, not behind it, not in front of it, but right over it. Now, I'm not going to press down on the string. I'm going to hover over it and just touch it, okay? So when I touch it, I'll pluck the string and pick up at the same time. Hear it? Oops. Okay. You can play them all at once. Okay, but okay. So that's the first way. You're actually using both of your hands. One is hovering and one is plucking. Now the second way is using one hand, and you're going to use your pointer finger to do the job that your left hand just did. It's going to be doing the hovering, and it's going to be again on the 12th fret, right on the fret, and it's not going to press down, it's just going to hover over it. But what's going to pluck that string is your thumb. Now when you do this, you want a distance between this finger and the finger that's touching that fret. You don't want to be real close like this. See, you want to back up so that you're like this. And you'll see my distance right here, but that's comfortable for me. See that? If I went too far, it's uncomfortable. I can do it, but it gets awkward. So you gotta kind of find your distance. Okay? And you're gonna find, you also have to practice it enough that you're actually plucking the string that you're trying to get the harmonic off of, because sometimes when you first start, your thumb plucks the wrong string. So it takes a little practice to make sure you're actually getting the string that you're hovering over. You can do that on the 5th fret. See, I just plucked the wrong string. That's what That's really hard. It's easier if I do this than it is to do this at the 5th fret. But yet at the 12th fret, to me it's just as easy. Either way works well. 5th fret is a struggle. The 7th fret's a lot easier. And it's nice and clean. Okay, so but it takes, not that you can't do it, it's just that I'm not proficient at it, and it takes practice. You just got to keep working at it. I could spend more time on that. If I spend a couple hours a day for the next week, and every day just keep working at that, it'll just get easier, and it'll get cleaner, and I won't have to think about it as much, okay? But I haven't spent that much time with it. Now I use harmonics off and on. I'll be playing along. It just sounds pretty. But I've watched people play and they do a whole lot more than what I do with it. And it's absolutely incredible. So it takes some practice. Okay, so I showed you 2 different ways. The one way is using 2 hands, and then the one hand method. There's yet another way you can do it, and that's with a tap. Just tapping. You're actually taking, in this case I'm using my middle finger, just using it like a hammer, and just tapping on it, and I'm getting that same harmonic. So it's actually, it can be done where you're tapping more than one string at a time. And again, it takes practice. And so there's one more thing I need to show you. So but that's actually another way. So you got one finger, one hand method. You got the two hand method for the natural harmonics. And then you have the tapping to pick up those same harmonics, okay? Okay, so now let me just show you one more thing, okay? And I'm running out of time, so I kind of want to move through this quickly. Here's a G sus chord, right? So if I'm fretting a chord and I go to play the harmonics at the 12th fret, you notice that wherever my fingers, the strings that my fingers are fretted on, there's no harmonic at the 12th fret anymore. It's because these fingers displaced it. So I have to make up the distance of what these fingers has taken away. So this finger, pinky, for instance, is at the 3rd fret. So that means I need to come down here and count 3 frets away from the 12th fret. And there it'll be. There it is. My ring finger is at the 3rd fret again, so I've got the same thing. In between, there's 2 strings and nothing's fretted, so I need to go back up to the 12th fret. On the other hand, when you come here to the 5th and the 6th string, I need to come down here and make up the difference. Does that make sense? So if you're doing a D chord, again, I've got to make them the shape of the D chord, really. But I need to compensate for what I'm using up here and move up away from the 12th fret so I keep that 12th fret distance. Does that make sense? All right. Now, there's one more thing I want to show you, but I'm running out of time. But that is, it's kind of like a harp sort of a style. I've seen Tommy Emmanuel do this, and I watched one of his videos and he told how he did it. So I'm going to relay that to you, but I think the best place to get it is from him. Find his videos on harmonics. Honestly, I can't cite it right now. I'd have to search it out. But basically what he does is when he's playing the harmonic, he uses the one hand style, right? But he gets this sort of a harp sounding. And what he's doing is he plays this harmonic, and then he takes his ring finger and he plays a string below it, so it sounds. So it sounds like this. Get up here. I'm going to do it this way. Hear that? Hear that? So okay, so it's just another style, but I just wanted to throw that in there. And I know I'm moving really fast because I only have a few minutes for these, but I did want to show you the different ways to make the harmonics, the different styles, and then you can take that from here and hopefully, practice them on your own. Take each section and say, okay, today I'm going to just work on a natural harmonic using one hand, and just practice it till you get it down, and then say, okay, I'm going to make the fretted one, so you'll practice those, okay? And then if you want to try the tapping, and then if you get to the place where you're really, really good and you want to try out and just add that extra note in there. So I'm going to leave you with that, and hopefully you'll find that useful and something you can apply to your own playing to bring texture to your playing. And as you're playing along, you might just hear different things you can do with it. I hope you have a great day out there, wherever you are in this world.